Aubrey Graham, better known as Drake, a culture stealer, or as Kendrick said, a colonizer. Now, for myself, more than the average human being, I've often put myself in other people's shoes to come up with said scenarios that make sense. Like, why would a certain human being put themselves in such a plight? What does Drake get out of it? What is an industry plant? Drake was planted into his position. And the reason he was planted in said position is because they needed someone who people wouldn't gravitate to He's not connected to anything. He's not connected to anything that is connected with us. He doesn't come from hip-hop roots. He doesn't have any neighborhood backing him up. He doesn't have any of that. So how could somebody like that turn around and be the king of hip-hop, right? It's because they were selected to be that. Drake did an interview claiming that he identifies as black. It's probably the first time in the world anybody's heard that is when he said that interview. I identify as black. But have you noticed, those people seem to identify as black when it is beneficial to them to identify as a black man. But that's not what he identified with when he started his career. When he first made Best I Ever Had, he wasn't identifying as a black man. No siree. He was doing Degrassi. He wasn't identifying as a black man. When there was Jewish holidays that would come up, he would often text his friends, all these Jewish things. Anytime someone Jewish would text him, he would exit and text with Jewish texts like shalom, shalom. All the Jewish customs. He wasn't doing all the black stuff. So the Jewish media was loving him because he was identifying as Jewish. Paul Rosenberg goes over and interviewing him first in his career. They're talking Jewish talk. You don't know how huge you're gonna be because you're a Jewish guy rapping. You're gonna be so huge. Why? The Beastie Boys, what the hell you thought they were? 3 Jewish guys from like Jersey. So, not to say he's not talented at what he does, but the creation part of it is gone. Now it sounds like the same old rendition. And it's like, oh, Drake had a 15-year run. But now if you start to look at that 15-year run, start to peel back those layers, things are looking quite funny in the light. No, Drake didn't have a lot of black friends. He hung out with a bunch of white boys his entire career. When he was before he got on Degrassi and when he first got Degrassi. His mom was a teacher. She would always stay on him about punctuations and proper speaking, everything. So Drake would read books and have to speak in a certain manner around the family and friends, which always were Jewish. Yeah. No Jewish friends. I mean, no black friends, just Jewish friends. That's it. So he was at other people's bar mitzvahs. A lot of people not even sure Drake even had a bar mitzvah. He told people he had one at an Italian restaurant. There has been no record of it. There has been no photos of it. There's been no home video of Drake having a bar mitzvah. But I remember later in another interview him saying he necessarily didn't have one when someone else had interviewed him, but he had went and attended one, but he himself didn't have one. Now he's saying he did. Nobody's criticizing him for it, but this is explaining to you how something like this happens. So now, no one paid any attention to him. Nobody said, let's get this guy a leg up, until he started to have some success. He just wanted to get into business so bad, he signed one of the worst contracts in music history. And the business of that music contract that he signed was so terrible, he had to put out like 15 albums The deal he signed was like 15 records. It was crazy amount of records. So by putting out all of these crazy records and the fact that Lil Wayne had him signed to his label, Young Money, which was basically meant you were signed to Cash Money, then distributed through Universal. You were signed to 3 different record labels. Not to mention your managers. Everybody's gonna get paid before you get a dollar. Lil Wayne's getting paid, Baby getting paid, Slim getting paid, the record executives had Universal getting paid. Everybody's eating before you get a dollar. So he was signed to one of the worst contracts in the business. That's why Kendrick Lamar said, show me your splits and I'll double back with you. See, what Kendrick wasn't going to allow was himself to get scraped by the record company. After the Damn album, he wasn't making another one until they got this business sorted out. They weren't finna keep eating off him. He didn't do what Drake did and said, I'm just gonna keep making records and get out of this deal. Kendrick's like, I'm not finna do that. Two different approaches. So after Scorpion, that was it. Nobody was gonna eat off Drake like that again. He was out of his contract. He was done. He was free. Have you noticed something after Scorpion? Drake's popularity, he was at an all-time high after Scorpion. And he kind of fell off. Certified Lover Boy came out. That was cool. But then he started falling into the trend of being a feature artist. It's a Drake album, but now he's doing an album with 21 Savage. Then he released all these other songs. Hello, Nevermind, and For All the Dogs. Now you're starting to see everything's falling apart. You're starting to see a shift. All his music now is more gangster, more trap, more ratchet. Any ratchet chick, he's on their songs. He's jumping on anybody's songs he can. If they're a hard artist, they're hot, let me jump on their song. Ever since Scorpion. And he's got a new deal now. Y'all never thought about that? Well, most people don't think about the business. They look at the product. But on the business end of it, what Drake is doing is assuring his progress. Now, he's supposed to have a profit sharing percentage. So if some artists make some money, he's supposed to get some money back himself. Part of his 360 deal with UMG and Lucian Grange. They gave him over $400 million for so many years. It's a 360 deal. He's got to pay it all back. That's why he's on tour after tour, because they get a piece of that money too. And the music has got to pop. So those projections are based on what they think they're going to earn and exceed more than you. If they pay you $400 million, they think they can get $1 billion out of you within that time. That's why they're willing to pay you the $400 million, because they believe they can make $1 billion off you in earnings. They believe you can come up with enough hits where they can earn about $1 billion. Kendrick Lamar only has a distribution through Universal. PG Lang is independent. It's an indie label. So that means he's mostly spending his money creating the art and paying for everything. So he keeps the majority of the money coming in. So now he only has to pay Universal to distribute said product. And why wouldn't they? Because that's making the money. Sure, they're gonna make more off of Drake, but when you got the #1 song in the world, you'll be a fool to say, oh well, I'm friends with Drake, I can't do my job of marketing the #1 song in the world. Jay Prince, man, ain't staying in this battle, man. He is in peace. This is a rap battle, and they don't need the Jay Prince in it for that. Nobody physically putting hands on each other. Ain't no need for Jay Prince to come in and do anything. Nobody's harming Drake physically. No one's talked about harming him physically. I mean, he's out there being Jay Prince, man. He's meditating, praying, peaceful, serenity. Doing what he do. Conducting business. The man owns his own island. Let him relax. Well, Kendrick Lamar he's a different anomaly than a lot of these other artists. A song from him changes the whole scale and the whole scope. The whole thing shifts. It's like tectonic plates. The plates are shifting whenever he makes a song, an album, anything. People pay attention. When Nas drops something, people pay attention. They stop, but whoa, what's this? Now, Nas is rich enough where he ain't got to do all that. He's making that off investments. So now he's like, well, I done just closed a couple deals. I'm really straight. Now I can make music just because I feel like it. I'm inspired to. A Nas and Kendrick song? That would be crazy. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So when you piece it all together, you'll start to see the bigger picture. Drake is He's weak. He didn't come from anything. He's not connected. He tells you in his music, white people don't trust him. He's like, white people really don't trust me, and I'll never be black enough. So he's stuck in the middle. And this was always the plan. This was always the plan. When it became a system of making mixed children. You didn't know that, but that was the plan. To create a whole sea of them, so they will replace us. They're more docile, more controllable, because they're stuck in the middle where they're not accepted on either side. It's been a known trait for years. Way before I was born, and always war between mixed and the blacks and the white. It's on the hieroglyphics on the walls of Egypt, on the pyramid. That shows you how long this has been going on. Australia, they decided to prophesize off of it. In Australia, they began to breed them, teach them Christianity, put them on an island in Australia where just the mixed children were. So they could be taught by Catholic priests who taught them about religion, started teaching them about Christ, everything else. They went to school, and then they took those children and put them on a different island. Mainly Puerto Rico. This was happening right around the time of Pearl Harbor. Other countries were invaded and forced to take on religion of Jesus Christ and the Catholic religion and Christianity. They have to take on that faith. These countries didn't have that faith prior, so it was a holy war. It was a fight. It was a crusade, saying, we don't know what this is. You can't come over here and tell us what to do. They said, oh yeah, we can. And they keep coming, warrant, till you believe what they believe. They did it to the Philippines. Philippines fought and said, we're not going to accept that here. Now you look at it now. Mexico. That wasn't their gods or beliefs. Look at it now. Every December, second week of December, there's about 1,000 of them in the middle of the expressway, blocking up traffic, carrying a doggone white lady across the street, a big statue of a white lady, saying that's the Mother Mary, carrying it across the street, talking about it's her birthday. Now, This revelation, to some of you, is probably eye-opening. But it's factual. You can actually look it up for yourself and see that this is a reality. Well, there's so much going on in the world. Hey, how you guys doing? Now, with all of these things into play, you look at Drake. It's not his fault what happened. It's not his fault his daddy and mama hooked up and his daddy split and ran to go do what he do. That's Freaky Dennis. Now, it's like the saying go, like father, like son. So, same way. Run from responsibility. Don't want to deal with said subjects that seems to zero around well, society is always going to deem something more important than what everybody else could assume it is, dream it is, the whole nine. Now, here's the problem. And it needs to be put on display fully. You have 16 to probably 17 different people that come around and try to take up for Drake. And they do it just for attention. But the people that are supposed to take up for him in the industry, all these friends that he had. Do you hear Sexy Red coming forward talking about Drake? I mean, he just got on the song with her. That song bombed. Did you see Drake get on another song with all these other rappers, 21, all these rappers? Good morning. You don't see any, and I mean anybody coming up defending Drake, meaning the powerful people he worked with in the industry. Now, why did they take and try to make him a star? Because he was half Jewish and black. He has no connection to any hood or anything. He's not empowering a neighborhood. He's only empowering himself. His values is money, material crap that means nothing. That's the guy we can take and put at the face. So the push went from Lil Wayne, who really didn't have to rap no more because he was eating off Drake. And you see those flags? Those flags is what was represented. You see everything laid out. Big international money, international tours to make sure he stay afloat. Drake had to keep working summer to summer. Now he's basically paying all these people not to rob him. Now he's got to hang out with unsavory people to protect him, protect his wealth, his health, all of it. There's so many people that don't believe in that, what you just said. They're everywhere, man. Oh, what's up, KB? You never thought about that? Drake don't come from a block. He don't come from a hood. Jay-Z rep Brooklyn, Marcy Projects, Nas, Queensbridge, Kendrick, Compton. You know, everybody had a staple. Drake had to go make some, I'm repping the 6. Everybody in hip hop like, the who? The what? They have no identity with that. They can't identify with it. So when you start your record career off, like Kendrick, he wasn't signed to a great contract either. He was signed with TDE, who got a portion of that with Dr. Dre and Aftermath, then with Interscope Records. So Kendrick went and said, that's enough, because I'm doing all the work. Dr. Dre ain't really here. Dre was getting so much money off Aftermath, and they wasn't doing any other work. Dre would show up, and you were paying for the letters in the name on Dr. Dre. Because when Dr. Dre is on your album, it boosts you up 300%. That's how they looked at it. So what do I mean by he was chosen and selected and abusing the culture? Because you don't come from anything, you don't really respect it. People that come from the hood, they know like disrespect. It don't have to be taught. But when you come from the suburbs, have you ever seen a suburbanite? They often offend or do something that they don't even know is wrong. Because they don't come from anything. They don't come from a area where we know not to tread on the other person. There might be consequences for doing stuff like what they did. Drake can then come in with that. So he thought it would be fun to do some things that other people might take as disrespect. It might be fun to pose as a Rasta Jamaican man and make fun of their accent. Yo, I got enough tune for your tune chop. That's like a suburbanite who say, hey, I got a black friend, so I could do a whole bunch of stuff, and that gives me a pass. And your black friend be like, no, it don't. I can't save you. I don't know what made you do that stupid shit. But your ass is grass. I'm not saying you gotta come from like the slums of the ghetto to be a rapper. Drake should have just stayed in his lane. He was making the music that everybody liked. He sold his most records when he was being who he was. He was a mixed kid from Toronto who was on Degrassi. And when he was doing that, he was selling more records. Now he's selling less records being a gangster. Something that he isn't. He came from upper middle class home in Toronto. He didn't grow up in the slums. He was rich and went into the slums to try to get credibility. So Casa 9, that's record labels. Once record labels start looking at all these social media influencers or whatever and start using them and paying them money to promote their artists, that's when they start to get out of control. Because now you got a bunch of people who are basically not even connected to hip hop. They just have a bunch of following for a lot of other dumb stuff they do. You're basically giving them a stamp of credibility as if they're the news for hip hop. No way in hell should academics be nowhere near any news in hip hop. Because he's not hip hop. He knows nothing of the culture. He knows nothing about it. But because he talks about it on the internet, about syrupy rapper here and another syrupy rapper there, oh, he's a hip hop phenomenon. No, he's not. Casanat was a poor kid who came up, didn't know what he was going to do, dropped out of college. He was in a group home. You know, they was in foster care, him and his sister, they didn't have nothing. And, you know, he bit that apple. He was grinding on YouTube, doing all these things he seen other people do, wasn't working out, and, you know, he bit the apple. They liked his ambition of, I'll do anything. I just want to, you know, make it. So they said, okay, well, we're going to stick you with another, you know, one of our guys. So they put him with a white guy and put the white guy in charge of him. Then they started taking him to those creator meetings. And he went in those rooms and he bit the apple. Being true to yourself, you have to know thyself to be true to yourself. Some people get lost along the way and they forget who they are. It happens. He's been this character so long thinking he's being himself. He's not. He's lost himself. He's been this other guy for so long, he forgot what he was. He forgot himself. That happens to actors. Actors normally would have to go through therapy to get out of a character. The guy that just played Elvis, he had to go see a shrink to get him out of that character because he found himself talking like Elvis all the time. After the movie was over and everything, he wanted to get back to himself. Mm-hmm. You think it's a accident why they promote light-skinned blacks and dark-skinned blacks don't get any shine and promotion? Hollywood Shuffle made a joke of it. That was the only way we can get that to smoothly get it through Hollywood, was to make a joke about it. It hurts. And some people just don't understand the hurt. They don't get the pain. They don't get the struggle. They don't get the idea of what's really happening. If you go look at a prison log, you're going to see a whole lot of dark-skinned brothers locked up. In the 1970s and the 1980s, whenever they had a television show and crime novels on TV, they had any criminals and they were black, they were dark-skinned. I remember the 80s. It was a lot more dark-skinned brothers around. In the Midwest now, all you got is Neapolitan ice creams everywhere. Now that's all you see on TV. You got some mixed person telling you how black they are, and it's unbelievable. All right, you got the girl from Star Wars now, what's her name? Amandla Steinberg, who gets a Star Wars franchise to herself. How? Why? She starred in the movie The Hate You Give. She was the star in that movie. A black movie star, like Maverick Carter produced it. Another one of those black empowerment movies, and they use this half black, half Jewish girl, Amandla Steinberg. She's got an African name, Amandla, and a Jewish, white, rich daddy. And she's out here acting like she's oppressed, and she's being discriminated against, and she's fighting oppression with some new music video because people don't like her performance and don't like this Star Wars show that was coming on, this Acolyte. So she decided that they doing it because she's black. And I'm like, no. I mean, how oppressed are you when you got a rich Jewish daddy who made sure you were going to be in all these acting classes and your last name is Steinberg? That's how you got an entire Star Wars saga. You just walked through the door and they gave you a Star Wars show. Yeah, you're so oppressed. But they send these people out to represent us. It's the real life paper bag test. Oh, did you know light-skinned blacks used to do that to dark-skinned blacks? They used to have a paper bag party. If you was darker than the paper bag, you couldn't get into the parties. The security was told, if they're darker than this paper bag, they can't come into the party. Oh yeah, there's a lot of those parties going on. And they started to crack down on those and saying that you can't do that, that's culturally biased. But the people that was in there, they didn't seem to care. Those parties were packed, full of light-skinned people and white people. But if you dark-skinned, you had to go. That's how they view culture now. It's a dangerous game out here in this world. They're all playing it at a whole different level. Well, everybody's going to have to make their way in a figure eight at some point. So, some of these people are just doing it now, you know. It's like, forget waiting, I'm going right now. This man's name is Ra-El. And Ra-El, I don't even think he even knows what that means. So you're from the house of El, and you're in here just cheerleading for a Zionist? Are you kidding? Do you even hear yourself right now? You are a walking oxymoron. Your name is an oxymoron right now. You just joked yourself with that name. Of course. Kai Cenat is the only person you see really that if they're going to want you to have success, they have to put their arm around you. If not, they're going to submerge you down. For instance, if I do a video about Power, the TV show, they immediately come after my channel. Immediately. They don't want to send it out for distribution. Nobody can see it. It doesn't go anywhere. Now, I got to call them and figure out why they keep doing that. You're not helping. You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. If Drake is so right, where is his celebrity friends? Why are they not taking up for him? Have you heard one celebrity come up and speak up in defense of Drake? in this battle with Kendrick. No, not one. Not 21. Can you write something for me? Not 21. None of them. Nobody has come to the defense of Drake. And this is why. I wonder if KB went live. He probably getting ready to go live in a minute. I'm on One Crack News, so I should get a notification if he go live. Right. This is the hub. All the trade jobs are down here. This is where I used to go to work. Wow, there it is. Klein Tools. I used to work at this place. Oh man, that's where I used to log in at. Oh, memory lane. A lot of funny stories here, buddy. I had a supervisor who was a terrible person, man. He was just awful. This guy only would he would only come out and say stuff and bother me because he thought I was trying to bang. He was only banging all the chicks in there. He just lost his wife and got divorced because he got caught sleeping with a girl on the job, and it cost him his other job, so he left there, come to this job right when I got there. So he was just starting with me, and he act like he been there longer than me. I'm like, dude, you just got here because you did something egregious. Yeah, he came here and just started, don't nobody know me here, I'm finna start all over again. And he went right over there and started doing the same thing. No, that's where you do all the admission tests. Oh, I was so mad. You want to talk about angry? That dude, man. When I first, I found his number, I called him one too long ago. Like, hey, man, what's up with you? Hit him up, see how he was doing. He said he didn't go to Texas. That's when they told you they wanted us to go to Texas, and I wasn't moving to Texas. So I said, no, that's it. Fort Worth, Texas is not where I wanted to go. Well, Drake could be talked into anything. A person who don't come from anything, they don't have any, no ties to history, no knowledge of their past, their culture. That's why he tries to glue himself close to his dad, because his dad, his black side of his family, he used to see him a little bit when he was kids, but mostly everybody he knew was on his mom's side. And now that he's in hip hop, now he's saying, "Oh, I identify as a black man." So that's what he identifies as from what he says on TV now, but that's not what he used to identify as. You see, we can't code switch. I can't say I identify as a Japanese man. That's what I identify as. Now, if I came out and said that, no, that's stuff that concerns black folks. I don't eat that. Give me calamari and a shrimp that's still alive. I'm like, no. I can't sit there and get away with that. If I sit there and said I identified as that, y'all would look at me like I was retarded. Black Americans have the most popular culture in the world, and it's profitable. True. We influence marketing, buying, everything. We generate trillions of dollars a year. That's what we generate. People won't buy things if we don't buy it. Jordan brand just did $7 billion in revenue. $7 billion. $7 billion for Jordan brand. Who the hell you think buy more Jordans? We do. We don't care what they make the price. We gonna run out and buy some Jordans. And then we gotta get them in different colors. Then you know what we say after that? I'm broke. You broke? Why you broke? You the reason you broke. You made you broke. Broke is a state of mind. It's not about him accepting it. You have to break the conditioning of programming. He's been programmed to say that's not okay. It's not cool. Look at Amanda Steinberg. Look at Zoe Kravitz. Look at all of these people. They think they are the voice of black people. And it's like, look, you're mixed. Be the voice of mixed people. When Sage Steele says she's mixed and proud, let her be mixed and proud. But she wasn't mixed and proud. She was mixed in being racist towards blacks. And the white man, the white husband she praised, and I praise my brave white husband for marrying me. I'm like, what the hell? Even he divorced her shortly after that dumbass statement. He had to get away from her. She wasn't celebrating being mixed. She celebrated being pro-white and hating black folks. Praised her brave mom for dating and marrying a black man in those days. That's brave. I'm like, brave? What about your black daddy? What he did was brave. They just gonna smack your mama up. They gonna hang him in Boston. Who you think more at risk? That's brave. But they keep on marketing and promoting it. And they're going to keep on running over there. And then they keep getting in trouble. And all these cases start coming up on them. And people going, why y'all keep falling for this? I'm like, shoot, I didn't cut them off a long time ago. Jonathan Majors just really put the seal on it. Yep, I'm staying away. Yeah, I had to drive way out to the rich people's store. The prices of the future today. I brought my mom here one time. She freaked out. My mom was, olive oil has never cost this much money. I'm like, Mom, not here. Brought you to a good store so you can get everything for real. I'm like, hey, this is where the rich folks at. Now, don't make us look bad out here. Rich people's store. Yeah, Mom wasn't feeling those prices. I'm like, just grab the olive oil. In Florida, the olive oil is this much. Here is this. It's never been like this. I'm like, Mom, just grab the olive oil, please, so we can move forward. You know, Mom's gonna be Mom. Well, you know, some people don't know how to pick their fight. This is more than a rap battle. This is highlighting what the bigger problem was in hip-hop. Because now, Lucian Grainge, who's spending all this money on the internet to have Drake promoted, he's being destroyed. So the money machine is not even working no more. He's trying to pay people to say Drake won, and it don't work. The truth always beats the lie. Oh yeah, that's because we made it popular. We made it fashionably cool to wear Jordans. Now they wear Jordans to weddings. People don't care no more. If you wore Jordans at my buddy's wedding, I'm telling you, his wife would have went off. Now, these guys that do that, they don't care. It's all about the fashion. What's hot? Well, make the right decisions, you can get the right results. You know, when you don't live right and move right, and you keep moving like a degenerate, you know, these type of things come back to bite you. You know, they catch up with you. And Drake has been living like a degenerate for years. I used to like the music, but his lifestyle, you know, sleeping with other people's girlfriends and all that stuff, you know, he just keeps getting exposed for all this stuff. And they get mad at me because I've been exposing it. Now, had he left me alone, it wouldn't have gotten this bad. But when you're spending money to try to sabotage somebody so much, okay, y'all wanted to play with me, I'm going to show you what playing look like. And then y'all ain't going to want to play no more. So you could get your little money machine and put it up all you want. The truth will always win. Right, because it's easy to get a person like that to fall for anything. They'll try the new pill, the new party pub. He got a bunch of tattoos that's the weirdest tattoos you've ever seen in your life. You got people you've never met in your life tattooed on you.
Thank you.
Yo, you're welcome. Like I said, degenerate, anything to be cool. I want Aaliyah tattooed on me. Aaliyah? You don't even know Aaliyah. Never met Aaliyah. Had no connection to Aaliyah's family or nothing. But you want Aaliyah tattooed on your body. Why? Got a bunch of goofy tats. So, yeah, it's a large amount of different situations that made me look the other way. You know, and said, man, this is crazy. Now, all these things about his activities with these young girls that keep coming up, I mean, when you see it, you almost can't believe it. But then when you're starting to see it, now you can believe it because it looks exactly like what it is. It's surprising, it's shocking. A lot of people see it and go, I can't believe this. Well, it's like believing now. Because that's exactly what it is. And now you're going to start hearing these girls come out more and more. And Lucian got to keep going in his pocket to try to clear up this mess Drake has got himself in. And he's the kind of guy that's rich and bored. He don't know what to do at home. He's at home just bored, so he just gambles. And he gambles to the point of taking dangerous risks. And the dangerous risk that he takes is that he continues to put himself in this pedestal, or on this pedestal of, I'll make the money back. If I lose it here, I'll make it back here. And start doing like what other people call chasing it. You're trying to chase success. You're trying to chase victory. You're trying to chase it and trying to win it back in another type of way that just causes you to lose more money. Losing $30 million in a day is never, ever acceptable by any standards. I would check myself into rehab immediately. I gamble mostly for recreation, not to get rich. I do sports betting for fun, but I'm not gonna say I need this to pay the bills. No, that ain't gonna cut it. If I got bills to pay and I need to gamble to get the money to bill for the bills, then that's the wrong. That is the wrong way. That is not gonna cut it, buddy. It's not gonna cut it. Nah, he do. He feels as he's worth it. It's just that there's a main problem that other people just don't see. He doesn't know how to take the responsibility. So when you don't know how to take the responsibility, this is going to be the outcome of the situation. It's going to come out not good. Well, when you make something that's radical, like you want to make something out of the ordinary, you want to make something pop or go, think about it. Everything he's been doing has been very formulaic, almost. All this formulaic music, it's the rendition and got old and tired, and you're bored of it. It sounds dry. It doesn't sound like anything that you want to listen to. You just like, oh God, here we go again. You know? So at the end of the day, you just really want the music to hit you to where it feels important. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's all right. Okay. And the only way you're gonna get that is by taking risks. If you don't take risks, if you don't take those opportunities to be great, then what are you really doing? What are you really proving? You're not. You're not doing anything to prove anything. You're just existing. Keep doing the same old rendition. You're gonna get bored. Your music's gonna get tired. Then people are gonna snap out of it and be like, "Oh, that song was lame." And that's kind of been his music lately. And he don't know how to get out of it. He's stuck in it. And now you're seeing the results of it. Culture vulturing, jumping on everybody else's wave, because he don't know how to do it anymore. I've seen an artist burnt out like that. His name was Eminem. We saw that happen to him. And once it happened to him, that was it. Right? And what he started doing? Started jumping on everybody's waves. Started rapping with Lil Wayne. Started doing all kind of stuff, right? Now, how is that hating on Drake? If I'm giving you a perfect analogy of what his music has been. Since Scorpion, It's all been downhill. Certified Lover Boy was probably the last we seen of him. After that, that was it. It was full trap music, a Project Pat remix. It's like, welcome to New Drake. Right, all these gimmicks they try to come with. What was the gimmick one? Bots. No, first it was somebody wrote it, Kendrick's raps. Then it's bots. All the stuff they saying he's guilty of. All the gimmicks. So you got all these gimmicks, no answers. And that's what happens. You dig your hole for yourself, you get stuck in the hole. And now you're looking for a way out. There's no way out. There's no wiggle room, there's no nothing. Yep. Okay. I'll holler at y'all. This ain't